So this got a lot of buzz. This was an article with Nintendo's newer president, as the article fails. Is it a Furukawa? Shantaro Furukawa had an interview. It was translated just about the direction of the company, what they're thinking about. And it came out, it was interpreted that Nintendo is going to be moving away from consoles. That's not how I interpret this article. I'll just say that at the front.
No, I didn't interpret the article that way at all. What we have, I think, is a situation where, people like to panic. Everyone wants to say Nintendo is done, doomed, and dead.
It's view bait to say Nintendo is moving away from consoles. But yeah, because you can't say Nintendo's doomed anymore because those fucking idiots are all gone.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
But I just think it was looked into a bit too much. What I gathered from it when they're talking is basically we always leave the future open for things.
Yeah.
And I mean, they even kind of mentioned it, and I think it was kind of in a long-term history sort of thing. They mentioned that, he mentioned that, Nintendo didn't start with consoles. They started with cards, and they moved on to consoles. And in the future, it might be something else.
And they dabbled in love motels of here and there.
Yeah. But this doesn't mean that Nintendo's canceling the Switch.
This is a quote.
Yeah.
Okay? Here's the context. People don't like context because they want to just froth at the mouth for whatever the person on YouTube is saying that they want to agree with. It has been over 30 years since we started developing consoles. Nintendo's history goes back even farther than that. And through all the struggles that they faced, the only thing that they thought about was what to make next, meaning what can make money. In the long term, perhaps our focus as a business could shift away from home consoles. Flexibility is just as important as ingenuity, which is a totally reasonable thing to say. If you're a business, you follow where the money is. There's still going to be a console business, 5 years from now. It might shift, like we said, but they're not going to stop making consoles that are making money. That's insane.
I feel like it was a very mild, almost milquetoast type comment.
Yeah, it was just
to investors to be like,
yes.
To just reassure investors, yes, we're creative and this is what we're doing now. And if in the future it's not what's going to be good, then we're going to do something else.
If we can't make money 15 years from now, making consoles, we're going to, I don't know, we're going to make paper mache kits. I don't know.
Right.
But maybe they did that in the past. That's all he's saying. As a company that has stockholders, you have to make money. That's
right.
The way he's saying.
They're saying that they're not going to tie themselves down to something if it ends up failing in the future. So I do think it does mention Nintendo will certainly be making more mobile games. They mentioned that. A thing that we never thought would happen, and now it has, and it isn't the end of the world. I have a feeling we'll see.
Oh man, I did a change.org petition to get them to stop doing that. It worked out.
But they're going to make more mobile games, but I don't think it's not like in 2 years' time. It's not like the Switch is it. Switch is not Nintendo's last console.
This was interesting. We said we aren't really fixated on our consoles. At the moment, we're offering the uniquely developed Nintendo Switch and its software, and that's what we're basing how we deliver the Nintendo experience. Nintendo sees themselves, it's almost like they don't care about what form the console is going to look like. It's their first-party software that's so goddamn strong.
Right, and
that's what really matters to them.
Also, that's the other thing. They're stressing on home consoles. Mm-hmm. They did stress home consoles. The Switch is a hybrid.
And remember,
it's more of a portable. Nintendo's always done gangbusters with their portables. Their consoles have not always done, have not always been successes. So maybe by saying home console, they mean, that doesn't write out portables. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of ways to look at it, and people are, well, here we are doing it. We're dissecting the hell out of it.
You understand how radical Nintendo shifted the past 3 years. They went from saying, never mobile, we don't give a shit about any, retro properties, things like that nature, to mobile, embracing mobile, doing this Netflix-style service, coming out with the Super Nintendo and NES Classic, something I never would have thought would have happened like 10, 12 years ago, correcting the errors with that. I'm talking like Chucky from Rugrats now because I'm stuffed up. Okay. No time. You see what I'm saying? They've done a radical change. That was even happening even before the new president. This is a big change for Nintendo. So they're going to embrace wherever the money goes. And remember, the software is always where they make the chunk of the money.
Yeah.
The Wii U, they broke even or lost a little money on each Wii U. The Switch, I don't see how much money they're making on the Switch. They probably are making somewhat, but they even said they're not making that much, I think, back then. Maybe now there are. There's expensive components in the Switch.
Yeah.
The controllers have a lot of shit going on. You always maintain. So, software. That's where it's at. They're still making 3DS games. How much money they made on the 3DS? People forget the 3DS existed. When they're talking about how, the failure of the Wii U. Yeah, the 3DS is making them bank still.
Yeah.
It always has. It's been carrying the handheld. So,
long story short, I don't think Nintendo's consoles are going anywhere anytime soon.
No, but it makes for a good title on a YouTube video. Nintendo giving up consoles? I might have to do that just so people click on it.
Nintendo doomed?
Nintendo doomed? I'm a pretentious Atlantic writer that Pat trashed 2 years ago.
Nintendo is
2.5 years ago.
doomed.
That was funny. You weren't here. I went off on that Atlantic writer. It was really pretentious.